guys, welcome back to my channel. It is time for my December wrap up. I almost didn't film this because I forgot about it in the sort of, tumble to get goals and yearly wrap up and all of that done, but I did not want to leave out December, and since I'm not doing like a yearly wrap up, I'm just doing a video with some of my favorites, I didn't want to not talk about these books. So there are 3 of them and it will be quick. The first one I talked about a little bit in my November wrap up, and that is The Apothecary, and this is like a young adult series that has magic and just some like kind of magical realism stuff going on, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. It's got beautiful like illustrations throughout the book, and that is probably one of the things I like the most about it. I didn't love this. Like, I thought it was a good book. I enjoyed it while I was reading it. It's part of a series, but I won't be continuing on with this series. I did read some reviews about the follow-up book, and most people said that it wasn't nearly as good as the first one, and since this one was just okay, I decided not to continue on with it. But this is pretty good. It's about a girl who moves to London in the 50s, and she meets this apothecary's son, and they go on these adventures having to do with like this secret society that his dad is a part of, and it has some elements of like the war woven in there because it's talking about the atomic bomb at one point. So it's very interesting, and if you're looking for a kind of young adult series, then this might be something fun to pick up. It's definitely a light read, but I won't be continuing on with this series. Now the next 2 I do not have physically to hold and show you. The first one is You Go Bernadette, and this was an absolute pleasure to listen to. So I listened to it on Scribd, and I really enjoyed this. I had a number of people telling me just how good this book was supposed to be, and that I needed to read it, and that I should get to it quickly, and I hadn't picked it up, but then I saw it on Scribd as an audiobook, and I thought, I'm not listening to anything right now, why don't I pick it up? And I'm so glad I did. It is one of those books that I didn't really know what to expect going into it, but it was so wonderful, and the person who reads, like narrates it, is just spot on. Of just, I don't know, I think that the characters were really well portrayed with her voice, and it just, yeah, I ended up buying the book in the physical copy. It hasn't arrived yet, just because now I want to read it just like as a physical copy, because it was so good and so just charming. I could never give it a very good synopsis, except that it is a story told by a girl whose mother has gone missing, I guess. It's like, that's part of the story, but it's basically a mother-daughter relationship and about Bernadette and why she is the way she is and things like that. But it's so much more complex than that, and there's so many plot twists, and it's just so great. And the last book I picked up from the Penguin First Reads program, so it hasn't actually come out. I received it as an advanced reader copy on my iPad, and if you haven't heard of the First Reads program, it's a really cool thing. You end up with like these points, and then you can guarantee get copies, or you can be in drawings and stuff. It's a little like the Goodreads First Reads, but it's just for Penguin books. So I found it this year and thought it was kind of interesting. This is the first book I've actually gotten, and this is a book that's told in 2 different perspectives, and it's somebody sort of in the present day and then somebody in the 60s, I think. And it's all revolving around this house called Black Rabbit Hall, and I love a book that has to do with like a spooky old house and dual perspectives, and then it's like, are these 2 perspectives going to come together? How are they going to come together? Things like that. And it was really charming and wonderful. There were some things in there that were heartbreaking, and also just like a lot of family drama, and I did feel like I didn't connect to the like heartbreaking parts of the drama things as well as I felt like I should have in a book like this, mostly because the really heartbreaking thing happened at the beginning, so we really didn't get a chance to really be attached in the way that we should have been to have it really affect us. But it was still really good, and I enjoyed it, and I thought the characters were really well done, and I loved the twists and turns. I did predict most of them, but it was a fantastic book about a girl who sort of grappling with family issues. It's definitely a family drama. Both the 60s perspective and the present day perspective are full of family drama, and some of it crosses generations, and it was just wonderful and I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I chose it as like my guarantee book or whatever from the Penguin Reads, because I really enjoyed it, and it was something that I sped through, and it was just what I needed during like my Christmas vacation, because it was something that I could just engross myself in and just really enjoy. So yes, I would definitely recommend it. I don't remember when it comes out in 2016. It's sometime maybe February. It might be in February. I'm not sure. I'll put it in the description box if I can remember to do it. But anyways, I really enjoyed the 3 books that I did finish this month. I am in the middle of a couple of them. I didn't end up finishing the Christmas Carol and Other Stories. I read the Christmas Carol. I enjoyed it. I did feel like it was not as wonderful and charming as the movies are. Like, it felt like one of those things that like you build it up in your head so much that the actual thing is not as fantastical. So there were times when I was sort of like, okay, this is a little bit boring. But I still enjoyed reading it, and I have about half of the rest of the stories left to finish, and I will probably just put that down and come back to it next Christmas, because it's January and I'm not really, you know, in the mood to read more Christmas stuff at this point. So that kind of sucked, but you know, I got to read the Christmas Carol, and that's really what I wanted to read. I'm also still in the middle of winter. I put it down because I just was drawn to other things, namely the Black Rabbit Hall book, and then I had just started one of the books that I picked up in my Christmas, like for Christmas, and it's called The Affinities. And I described it one way when I was talking about it in the book haul, and I started reading it and I went back and read the summary again, and I don't know where I got the description that I was talking about, because it has nothing to do with social media at all. Like, nothing at all. It's nothing like Feed or the Down and Out in the Magic Kingdom, so I have no idea why I thought it was. But it's still really enjoyable. It's about social circles, so it's like how people relate to each other socially and not like social media. So I don't know, sometimes I make up stories in my head, and this must have been one of those times. Okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed what you read this year and in December, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful 2016, and I hope you are too. I will see you guys next time. Bye!